The Meridian Small Business Big Impact Awards celebrate small businesses making a real difference in their communities. And this year, thousands of nominations led to 15 organizations, each receiving $10,000 to support their work. 5 of those organizations moved on to a province-wide public vote. And you voted. And the message was clear.
Rob and I are here today to announce that the Ontario public voting has now been completed. And it's our absolute pleasure to announce that the Seed has won the grand prize of an additional $50,000.
The Seed in Guelph is the Ontario Vote's winner of the Small Business Big Impact Awards, recognized for their community-powered approach to food access, dignity, and care.
It's very exciting news. We are so thrilled to be the recipient of the $50,000. That money will go to good use within our warehouse space, within our staffing teams. We're always eager to increase our reach, and the more funding we have to do that, the better. At the Guelph Community Health Centre, we believe in a community without barriers to health and well-being. Food insecurity is a huge issue in Guelph Wellington County, and all of the funds are going to go towards some of our core operating to move food through our community. We have 24% of households that are food insecure, and we are helping solve that.
Congratulations to the Seed, community-chosen winner, receiving $50,000 to grow their impact with Meridian support.
Account number 436993. I'm ready to see you now.
Are you account number 775622? I'm here about the burst plate.
My name is Thomas.
Okay.
Latte 4354880.
You wouldn't treat your customers like a number, so why let your bank treat your business like one?
Meridian. Around here, banking is different.
Account number 975777. 975777.
That's not my name.
Together.
What?
Evan.
Hi. You ready to get out of here?
Wow. Yeah.
At Meridian, you're not a number, you're a member. And our members are everything. Because around here, banking is different.
Good evening, and welcome to Meridian's annual general meeting. My name is Karen Farbridge, and I previously served as chair of the board of Meridian Credit Union. Before we begin, I would like to share that our current board chair, Suanne Nielsen, is unable to be with us this evening due to health reasons. With the support of the board, I will be delivering the chair's remarks on her behalf. Thank you all for joining Meridian's annual general meeting by webcast and teleconference. As members, your participation in our democratic processes, such as this AGM, is important to all of us and to the future of our credit union. Before we begin, we acknowledge with gratitude and respect Elder Saul, who opened our AGM in 2024 and 2025 and has since passed. We remember their guidance and honor their contribution today. Thank you. In the spirit of reconciliation, we're proud to share a renewed land acknowledgement, thoughtfully co-developed with the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation in partnership with our Indigenous Relations and Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, Belonging, and Reconciliation teams. Meridian is committed to advancing the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action and engaging in meaningful progress towards reconciliation. We respectfully acknowledge that the land on which we gather and the land on which our Toronto corporate office sits is the Treaty 13 lands and the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and the Huron-Wendat peoples, who have walked with and cared for this land since time immemorial. From coast to coast to coast, we acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territories of all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples across Turtle Island, and we give thanks for their stewardship of the land, the waters, and the richness of their cultures. At Meridian, we're committed to advancing economic inclusion by creating opportunities, shaping policy, and expanding equitable access to financial services and professional development to learn and grow with Indigenous communities and help build shared prosperity for the 7th generation and beyond. I would like to now introduce Chief Margaret Saul of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Chief Saul has dedicated more than 40 years of service to the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, beginning her career in 1977 and retiring in 2023 after senior leadership roles in lands, governance, and research. Her work supported the settlement of 4 land claims, the development of educational resources, and progress towards self-governance beyond the Indian Act. She has also served as an elected councillor and on numerous committees and boards. In December 2025, Margaret was elected Chief of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. A deeply engaged community member, she co-founded the New Credit Cancer Support Group and has helped organize the annual historical gathering for more than a decade. Please join me in welcoming Chief Saul.
Annie, hello. I know that Elder Gary Sue opened your meetings in a good way the last 2 years. He unfortunately passed away in September. And while I have very large shoes to fill, I will do my best. I would like to start by honoring him and all the good work that he did for you, for his nation, and for so many others. There are no words to express how much he contributed and how valued he was as a person, an elder, a knowledge keeper, a father, a husband, and a dear friend. Our former chief, Stacy LaForme, wrote a poem that I think is very fitting to honor Gary's travels to the next life and the impact he had on so many. Boma P by R. Stacy LaForme. In our language, we have no words for goodbye. We say Boma P, which means I will see you again later. I thought the poem was a perfect use of that phrase, so that it has become the title of the poem, shortened to mean, I will see you again. The world got a little dimmer, the heavens a little brighter. We are grateful for the gift of you, for the time you spent among us. You touched so many lives, so forgive us our tears as we seek understanding. Rest assured that yours will be loved and embraced. We will remember you, the good, the bad, the silly, the sad, the strong and the stubborn. We will lift our heads and raise our eyes, and we will honor you by our words and our actions, but not today, for the hurt is too fresh and the grief is too new. Today we will share our pain and our tears. Tomorrow will be soon enough for us to be strong. You are the sum of everything you did, every life you touched, the glue that held things in place, the hand that helped when needed, the smile that said, it'll be okay, the kiss that wiped away the pain. Your beauteous smile was only matched by your spirit and heart. We know you did not wish to leave this pain in your wake, that you would have strong words for all of us about need and obligation, about the future. Do not fear, we will come again together. And we will do you proud. Forgive us our moments of sorrow, for you cannot understand how much you mean to all of us. Just as when the sun rises, it does not understand the warmth, the life, the love that it gives. We know this is not goodbye, that your spirit is eternal and your love forever. Journey well, Boma P. Gary. It's really good to have so many of you here today. I want to welcome you all to this virtual annual general meeting, and I thank you for taking the time to come together, to listen and to share, and to be part of this work. I would like to thank Meridian for having me and opening in a good way. I'll begin by telling you that you are on the Mississaugas of the Credit Territory. Our connection to this place goes back generations, and it continues to guide how we move forward today. Gatherings like this and AGM just isn't about reports and numbers. It's about accountability, transparency, and making sure we're all moving in the right direction. The work that's been done, and to look ahead at what still needs to need your attention. Our relationship with Meridian Credit Union is an important one. It's built on shared values, community, responsibility, and long-term thinking. Those are things we hold close as a nation as well. We know that strong relationships, especially in the financial sector, help create opportunities for our people and support the kind of benefit that benefits everyone. I always say nothing meaningful happens without people showing up. And that's what's happening here today. People who care about their communities, who are willing to ask questions, and who want to be part of shaping the future. So today I encourage you to stay engaged, listen carefully, Ask the questions that need to be asked and take pride in being part of this process, because this is how you build strong organizations, by staying connected and working together. Thank you again for being here, and I want to wish you a productive and positive meeting. Miigwech.
Thank you, Chief Saul, for your contribution this evening. And thank you all again for joining Meridian's annual general meeting. The notice of our annual general meeting has been published in accordance with Meridian's bylaws. And I have received confirmation that the minimum number of members required for quorum has been met. Therefore, I declare Meridian's annual general meeting duly constituted for the transaction of business. Now let me introduce the rest of this evening's presenters. Brian Wilson, Chief Financial Officer, Hari Pandey, Chair of the Audit and Finance Committee, Sunny Sodhi, Corporate Secretary and Chief Legal and Corporate Affairs Officer and Returning Officer, Betsy Chung, Chair of the Nominating Committee, myself, chairing tonight's meeting on behalf of our Board Chair, Suanne Nielsen, and Jeanne Guilfoy, President and CEO of Meridian. On the screen, you will see the names of your Board of Directors. Each of them is joining us tonight by webcast. We also welcome our external auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, who are joining us. Jeff Kochi from the law firm of RZCD is also attending and will act as our parliamentarian. To assist you through the meeting, the AGM member material is available on our website, www.meridiancu.ca, and in the Documents tab on the left side of your screen. This meeting package includes today's agenda, the minutes of the last year's annual general meeting, the reports of the Audit and Finance Committee and the external auditor, the 2025 consolidated audited financial statements, and the resolutions to be voted on at this meeting. Also available on our website are our 2025 annual report, which includes the board diversity report and our ESG metrics, along with management's discussion and analysis and our corporate governance practices. There will be 4 resolutions put forth to the membership for voting. To be clear, only verified members can vote and ask questions at this meeting. Those who are attending by teleconference are not able to cast a vote or submit a question. Members who are attending through the webcast will see the resolutions appear on the left side of your screen with the option to vote in favor or against. Please make your selection by clicking on either option. Shortly, I will call for the approval of the minutes of the 2025 annual general meeting. This will be followed by the report of the Chief Financial Officer, the report of the Audit and Finance Committee. Members will next be asked to approve the 2025 consolidated audited financial statements and the related auditor's report, and to appoint the auditors for the 2026 fiscal year. We will then share the results of the director's election, followed by the report of the nominating committee. Following this, I will deliver the report of the board, and then the president and CEO, Jeanne Guilfoy, will provide her report. We will conclude with a question period. Once again, only verified members can ask questions. Those who are attending this meeting as guests or joining by telephone conference are not able to submit a submit a question. My apologies. As the meeting chair, I am responsible for the orderly conduct of the meeting, and I ask for your cooperation in respecting our process throughout the meeting. On the screen, you will see a motion to adopt the agenda for the 2026 annual general meeting. When the resolution appears, please indicate your vote by clicking in favor or against on the left side of your screen. If there are any questions to the motion, please submit them now under the Questions tab on the left side of your screen. I would ask Wade Stazer to move the approval of the resolution.
Madam Chair, I so move.
Thank you, Wade. And I would ask John Trivieri to second the motion.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
Thanks, John. Sunny, do we have any questions in respect to the resolution?
Madam Chair, I can confirm there are no questions.
Thanks, Sunny. So to our members, please vote in favor or against to indicate your vote. And we will watch for the votes coming in, and we will have those results for you shortly.
Madam Chair, I can confirm the majority is in favor.
Great. Thank you, Sunny. The motion is carried. The minutes of the 2025 Annual General Meeting of Meridian Credit Union, held on April 22nd, 2025, are included in the AGM member material. Again, if there are any questions to the motion, please submit them now under the Questions tab on the left side of your screen. On the screen, you will see the resolution. I will now call for a motion to approve the minutes of the 2025 AGM. Be it resolved that the minutes of the 2025 Meridian Credit Union Limited Annual General Meeting be approved as presented. Once again, Wade, could you move the resolution, please?
Madam Chair, I so move.
Thank you. And I would ask John Trivieri to second the motion.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
Thank you, John. Sunny, do we have any questions in respect to the resolution?
Madam Chair, I can confirm there are no questions.
Thanks, Sunny. So to our members, please vote in favor or against to indicate your vote. And as they will come in soon, and we will soon have the results to share with you.
Madam Chair, I can confirm that the majority is in favor.
Thank you, Sunny. The motion is carried. I now ask Brian Wilson, Meridian's Chief Financial Officer, to deliver Meridian's 2025 financial report.
Thank you, Karen, and good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Wilson, Chief Financial Officer of Meridian Credit Union. I'm going to review our financial results for 2025 and provide an overview of our financial outlook for 2026. 2025 presented a challenging economic and business environment. Uncertainty over tariffs on trade with the US and renewal of the free trade agreement contributed to deferred business investment and reduced consumer confidence. With the volatility of the COVID pandemic years of 2020 through 2022 behind us, we've demonstrated sustained profitability over time, which is very important. Revenue growth has continued to exceed the growth in operating expenses. Accordingly, our net income before provisions and taxes has increased significantly from 2023 through 2025. We have an ongoing focus on sustained profitability. Continued pricing and margin discipline is paying off with higher revenues in spite of a challenging economic environment. The one-cap leasing business reverted to profitability in 2025 as delinquency rates on the leasing portfolio have fallen steadily throughout the year and are now well below industry averages. In the more normalized period post-COVID, income before provisions and taxes has improved significantly, increasing to $185 million in 2025, up $64 million or 53% from 2023. Again, growth in revenues outpaced the growth in operating expenses. Adjusted net income, which excludes an impairment charge, has been stable over that 3-year cycle in spite of elevated provisions for credit losses. Provisions associated with the long-haul trucking lease portfolio, which negatively impacted results in 2024 and the first quarter of 2025, are now substantially behind us. Unfortunately, provisions for 2025 on land development and construction loans have increased as a consequence of declining real estate values for development projects, especially condominium projects. We also took a one-time non-cash impairment charge of $65.7 million after tax in 2025. This reflects a decision to charge off the remaining balance of goodwill and intangible assets associated with the purchase of the one-cap leasing business acquired in 2016. This is a one-time, non-cash accounting charge that has no impact on regulatory capital, liquidity, or future earnings capability. The decision was made in light of an overall decline in market values for leasing businesses in general. Adjusted net income excludes the impairment charge in 2025, but includes provisions for credit loss and income taxes. Meridian has sustained earnings in the $80 million range since 2018, excluding the COVID period from 2020 to 2022. We have also invested approximately $3.6 million annually in social impact community investments since adopting our Meridian for Good strategy. This investment is included in operating expenses, but is connected to the delivery of our purpose objective. Return on membership equity represents the earnings attributable to our membership shares after deducting dividends on investment shares. On an adjusted net income basis, we had a 3.7% return on equity in 2025, comparable with earlier years. Adjusted net income has been relatively stable over the 2023 to 2025 period. However, our operating efficiency has improved dramatically as revenue growth has outpaced growth in operating expenses. The net interest margins have improved significantly to 1.83% in 2025. This is a function of disciplined pricing and rolling off low-margin loans that were generated during the COVID cycle. Gross impaired loans have increased with the credit and market conditions facing the development and construction industry. Regulatory capital has grown significantly through the period to a Tier 1 capital ratio of 11.9% in 2025. This reflects a combination of growing retained earnings and reducing risk-weighted assets as defined in the regulations. Turning to the financial outlook for 2026, we see the economic environment and business outlook to continue to be challenged. There remains significant continuing uncertainty with tariffs until the USMCA negotiations are settled. Furthermore, those discussions look to be protracted. The war in the Middle East is clearly unsettling financial markets, both for commodities and interest rates. This uncertainty is impacting business investment and consumer confidence. Everyone is being more cautious in this kind of environment. It makes for a more challenging environment both for issuing new loans, as well as the ability of our borrowers to make payments on their existing loans. We see a continued and more volatile interest rate environment in 2026, which is challenging for the organization as well as for our members. These conditions create challenges for credit and impact growth opportunities. The condo market is particularly challenged in this environment. It will take some time to see how the new government initiatives around housing will play out and how that will impact both borrowers and the demand for loans going forward. Meridian remains well capitalized with significant liquidity and sustained earnings that position us well in an uncertain environment. Karen, that concludes my remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. I now ask Hari Pandey to deliver his report as the chair of the Audit and Finance Committee.
Thank you, Karen, and good evening to all of you in attendance. As chair of the Audit and Finance Committee, I'm pleased to share the committee's report today. The Audit and Finance Committee's mandate is comprehensive and includes responsibilities prescribed under the regulations to the Credit Union and Cash Popular Act, Meridian's bylaws, and board policies. The Audit and Finance Committee is comprised of 5 independent board members who have demonstrated financial literacy needed in this role. During 2025, the committee held 5 scheduled meetings and submitted its reports to the board after each of those meetings. The committee satisfied all its primary responsibilities that I will highlight here, and we dealt with any related matters that surfaced during our proceedings throughout the year. These responsibilities included reviewing Meridian's quarterly financial results, accounting policies, reporting procedures and systems, along with overseeing the finalization of year-end audited financial statements and disclosures in accordance with international financial reporting standards, applicable auditing standards, attestation by management, and reports by PricewaterhouseCoopers, Meridian's independent auditors, satisfying the integrity of internal controls over financial reporting, including the disclosure of Meridian's financial position in a timely and transparent manner to Meridian's members and key stakeholders, reviewing Meridian's annual financial and regulatory capital plans, multi-year financial projections, and underlying assumptions. In addition, the committee reviewed dividend declarations on its investment shares and the annual management's discussion and analysis report, reviewing the annual audit plans of the internal and external auditors, and recommending the annual appointment of the external auditor based on the committee's assessment of their work performed. Annually, the committee performs an assessment of external auditors' performance, overseeing the internal and external audit activities, receiving reports on work carried out by them, and satisfying the continued independence of the audit functions, including any third-party service providers engaged by Meridian's internal audit services. The committee regularly met in camera with the Chief Financial Officer and the VP Internal Audit, set their annual goals, and did their performance assessments. On behalf of members, the board engaged the firm of PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP to perform the independent audit of the consolidated financial statements and notes of Meridian Credit Union Limited for the year ended December 31, 2025. The external auditor's report can be found in the 2026 AGM member materials. The committee is pleased to report to the membership that under the requirements of the Act, we have fulfilled our mandate for the year, and there are no material issues the committee believes required reporting to the members or other stakeholders at this time. The committee wishes to thank Meridian's management teams for their full support. Finally, I wish to thank my fellow Audit and Finance Committee members for their outstanding contributions, diligence, care, expertise, and oversight during last year. This concludes the report of the Audit and Finance Committee. Thank you. Madam Chair, at this point, I move the motion to approve the audited consolidated financial statements for 2025. Be it resolved that the audited consolidated financial statements of Meridian Credit Union Limited for the year ended December 31, 2025, together with the report of the auditor, be approved.
Thank you, Hari. If there are any questions to the motion, please submit them now under the Questions tab on the left side of your screen. I would ask John Trivieri to second the motion that Hari presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
Thank you, John. And I'll just give Sunny a moment to see if we have any questions coming in with respect to the resolution.
Madam Chair, I can confirm there are no questions.
Great, thank you, Sunny. Please vote in favor or against to indicate your vote. And in a few moments, we will have the results.
Madam Chair, I can confirm that the majority is in favor.
Thank you. The motion is carried. Hari, back to you.
The Audit and Finance Committee duly considered the appointment of PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP. The Board of Directors recommends the appointment of PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP as a credit union's auditors for 2026. Madam Chair, I move the following resolution on the appointment of the auditors. Be it resolved that PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP be appointed Meridian Credit Union Limited's auditors for the fiscal year 2026 at such remuneration as may be fixed by the Board of Directors.
Thank you again, Hari. Again, for our members, if there are any questions to the motion, please submit them now under the Questions tab on the left side of your screen. Once again, I would ask John Trivieri to second the motion.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
Thank you, John. Sunny, have we received any questions with respect to this resolution?
Madam Chair, I can confirm there are no questions.
Thank you. So to our members, please vote in favor or against to indicate your vote, and we will wait for the results.
Madam Chair, I can confirm that the majority is in favor.
Great, thank you. The motion is carried, and thank you, Hari. We will now proceed with the results of our director's election. And I would like to call on Sunny Sodhi, our corporate secretary and returning officer. Over to you, Sunny.
For 2026, there were 4 positions to be filled on the board. The call for nominations was made on November 2nd, 2025, with the nomination period for receipt of applications running from November 3rd until November 28th, 2025. We received 73 valid applications. The nominating committee engaged external advisor Amrop Rosen, who assisted with reviewing and assessing each application and in determining a short list of qualified candidates to be interviewed by the committee. Following the interviews, in accordance with board policy, the nominating committee recommended 4 qualified candidates they considered best suited to fill the available board member positions. An additional 7 qualified candidates requested to have their names placed on the election ballot for a total of 11 nominees who sought election for 4 vacancies. Meridian engaged an independent company to conduct the vote. Members were advised of the vote through direct mail communications, social media announcements, digital displays in our branches, and announcements on Meridian's website. The director candidate election brochure provided information on each nominee and was made available to members on our website along with voting instructions. The voting period opened on March 24th, 2026 and closed on April 14th, 2026 at 5 p.m. Eastern. Votes were cast electronically through the independent voting platform, and I am pleased to announce the results of the election. The 4 nominees with the highest number of votes were Upkar Arora, Michael Lomas, Richard Lunny, and Hari Pandey. I therefore declare them duly elected directors of Meridian Credit Union Limited, each for a 3-year term. I would like to congratulate the successful nominees and thank all candidates for their interest in serving Meridian's members. The significant interest of our members in this process is a testimony not only to Meridian's growing success and reputation, but also to the dedication and engagement of our members. Thank you again. Now, I will turn the meeting over to Betsy Chung, Chair of the Nominating Committee, to introduce our new and re-elected directors.
Good evening, and thank you, Sunny. I would like to thank all applicants for their participation in our nomination process. As a committee, we were pleased with the applications received and are confident that the newly elected directors reflect the skills, expertise, and diversity to support the board and Meridian into the future. Thank you again. I would like to thank my fellow nominating committee members for their dedication to this year's nominating process. The process is rigorous and requires a considerable amount of time, effort, and reflection from both candidates and the committee members. The committee is keenly aware that with Meridian's growth and increasing regulatory requirements, a strong board is more critical than ever, and thus takes its responsibilities very seriously. Thank you to Larry Doran, Stacey Grant Thompson, Leanne Hanaway, and Suanne Nielsen. On behalf of the board, I'm very pleased to extend my congratulations to the 4 successful candidates. On the screen, you will see the names of your 2026-2027 Board of Directors. Of the newly elected directors, Apkar Arora and Hari Pandey are returning directors, and we welcome Michael Lomas and Richard Lenny as our new directors. On behalf of the fellow directors and management team, we look forward to working with you. Thank you, and again, congratulations. Karen, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Betsy. As noted earlier this evening, I am Karen Farbridge, and I'm delivering the chair's remarks on behalf of our board chair, Suanne Nielsen, who was unable to join us this evening due to health reasons. Good evening, members, board colleagues, employees, and partners. Thank you for joining us tonight. It has been a privilege to serve as the chair of Meridian's board, and I am grateful for the opportunity to reflect with you on the year behind us and the path ahead. The past year was marked by uncertainty and rapid change. Economic volatility, evolving expectations, and continued transformation across financial services made it more important than ever for Meridian to show up as a trusted, values-based partner for our members. And once again, that is exactly what this organization did. Meridian's strength in 2025 was not accidental. It reflects disciplined governance, thoughtful leadership, and a clear focus on long-term value creation, always with the members at the center of our decisions. As a board, our role is to provide oversight, set strategic direction, and ensure Meridian remains financially resilient and well-positioned for the future. Throughout the year, we worked closely with management to support a balanced approach to growth. This meant pairing prudent financial stewardship with continued investment in the capabilities that allow Meridian to serve members more personally, more efficiently, and more effectively. A key area of focus for the board this year was supporting Meridian's continued evolution into a more agile, digitally enabled, and member-centric organization. From a governance perspective, this meant overseeing investments in digital platforms, data, and emerging technologies, not as an end in themselves, but as tools that better enable member experiences. Technology should make banking simpler, advice more accessible, and relationships stronger. And that principle guided our oversight. We also devoted significant time to ensuring Meridian's responsible use of artificial intelligence. The board believes AI should enhance human relationships, not replace them. Meridian's approach prioritizes transparency, ethical use, and clear member benefit. It is designed to support employees, improve service quality, deepen our understanding of member needs, and protect trust. Risk oversight remained a priority throughout the year, particularly in areas such as cybersecurity, data protection, and regulatory compliance. Protecting member trust is foundational to everything we do. As Ontario's largest credit union, Meridian is held to a higher standard, and rightly so. Strong risk governance allows Meridian to innovate with confidence while maintaining the stability and resilience members expect from their cooperative financial institution. Strong governance also depends on renewal and continuity. This year, the board devoted meaningful attention to succession planning and board renewal to ensure we continue to bring diverse perspectives to the table. Furthermore, at this year's strategic review, the board will spend time discussing the importance of balancing profit and purpose, a principle we believe is essential to Meridian's long-term success. In closing, our board chair, Suanne Nielsen, has asked I share the following appreciation. I would like to sincerely thank 2 directors who are concluding their service this year, Larry Doran after 12 years and Jacqueline Beaurivage after 6 years, have each made lasting contributions to Meridian. Their dedication, insight, and commitment to the long-term interests of our members help guide the organization through important moments of growth and change, and we are deeply grateful for their service. This year also marks my final year serving as board chair. It has been an honor to work alongside a committed group of directors and to partner closely with Meridian's leadership team and employees across the organization. I am incredibly proud of the progress we have made together, driving meaningful change while staying firmly grounded in Meridian's purpose of helping members achieve their best life. To our members, thank you for your continued trust. To my fellow directors, thank you for your wisdom, collaboration, and commitment to strong governance. And to Meridian's employees, thank you for your professionalism, care, and unwavering dedication to putting members first. You are the heart of this organization. Meridian is well positioned for the future, and I am confident the organization will continue to build on its strong foundation, delivering value, strengthening relationships, and serving members and communities for years to come. Thank you, Suanne Nielsen. Before I conclude, I want to note that I've had the privilege of presenting these remarks on Suanne's behalf, and I know they reflect both her voice and her values. I'd also like to thank Suanne for her leadership as chair and for her unwavering commitment to building an organization that balances profit and purpose, especially in a world that so often frames the two as competing priorities. Under her guidance, Meridian has continued to show that strong financial performance and meaningful impact are not only compatible, but mutually reinforcing. It's my pleasure now to call on our President and Chief Executive Officer, Jan Guilfoyle, to provide her report.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you very much for stepping in for Suanne. She would be proud of your presentation of her speech, so thank you. It's great, and thank you to Suanne. She has been a fantastic board member and a wonderful chair, and I will miss her, as will the rest of the board and the management team. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our annual general meeting. And tonight is an opportunity to reflect on a year that required resilience, adaptability, and focus, and to thank the people who made our progress possible. 2025 was not an easy year for many Ontarians. In fact, there were high interest rates, housing uncertainty, and broader economic pressures that continued to affect individuals, households, and businesses across the province. And I'm happy to say that through it all, Meridian stayed true to our purpose, helping our members achieve their best lives while supporting people through the communities that they live in. In challenging times like this, we're often looking at why are we doing what we're doing? And we really leaned into what makes us different. As a member-owned cooperative, we are absolutely built on relationships, not just transactions. Our teams show up every day with empathy, expertise, and a very deep understanding of what's going on in their local communities. So whether that's helping members through mortgage renewals, helping business owners navigate through the uncertainty that both Brian and Karen had talked about, or offering practical financial advice and guidance to people demonstrates the strength of our purpose-driven approach. In a much needed world we live in today, members who needed us could find us. They could find us in person, they could find us on the phone, and they could find us through virtual meetings if that was how they chose to interact with us. As Karen said, Meridian purpose is embedded in how we operate, how we make decisions, how we show up for members, and that commitment through our Meridian for Good strategy was reflected, as Brian said, in strong profitability, fantastic member sentiment, and strong employee engagement. Strengthening and diversifying our business banking portfolio remained a key priority in 2025. We believe that supporting entrepreneurs across a wide range of industries and communities is a win-win. Entrepreneurs build strong local businesses and strong local economies, and in turn, Meridian strengthens its financial resiliency so we can be there for our members over the long term. A key milestone this year was the launch of On Your Way. This new advice experience is designed to support members through every stage of their financial journey. We're just getting started, and we would love that journey to start with a financial plan, one that you can do in person or on our mobile app or in online banking. From there, we can help you get on your way through your various life events that require money. With flexible digital and advisor-led engagement, On Your Way meets members where they are and evolves alongside their goals. It reflects a big shift for us from delivering individual services to creating a truly member-centric experience focused on long-term financial confidence and achieving your outcomes. As Karen said, we also continue to invest in technology, guided by a simple belief. When used thoughtfully, technology should deepen human connection. And this year, we enhanced both the member and employee experience through a very great refreshed mobile app for those of you that use it, new digital tools for our employees, and the implementation of Trellis, which is a new enterprise platform that improves speed, efficiency, and service delivery for our lending portfolio. We also took important steps to prepare for the future of work by embracing artificial intelligence responsibly. Through strong governance, broad access to tools like Microsoft's Copilot, and a great community of employees who are using these tools to create efficiencies. We call these employees citizen developers. And we are building capability, adaptability, while making sure we continue to protect our members' trust and their data. As we heard about, despite ongoing economic pressures, we delivered strong core performance in 2025. We exceeded new member growth targets, we achieved high net promoter scores, we outperformed our financial expectations, and maintained a strong capital position. While, as Brian said, a few portfolios, particularly land and construction in urban centers and long-haul trucking, faced significant headwinds, we continue to manage our risk responsibly and grow with discipline and diversification. And this financial resilience positions us well to support our members today and for generations to come. Our commitment to ESG and community impact also continued to deepen this year. ESG is embedded across how we operate, from environmental stewardship and inclusive product design to governance and community investment. We remain steadfast in our belief that long-term success depends on creating a positive outcome for people and for the planet. And beyond Meridian, advocacy remained an important part of my role. As one of Canada's largest credit unions, we have a responsibility to strengthen the cooperative banking sector and position it as a viable alternative to the big Canadian banks, rooted in our cooperative principles. As we look ahead, our focus is clear. We will continue building on our Meridian for Good strategy to create a more agile, digitally enabled, and member-centric organization, one that can thrive in a rapidly changing landscape, but also continues to bring the human touch through our business model. In uncertain times, Meridian's 100% Canadian member-owned model remains a very powerful advantage. All of our employees work in service of creating a strong member value proposition, one focused on delivering great advice, connecting through physical and digital channels, and living our brand promise. Around here, banking is different. So thank you for your trust. Thank you for being part of the Meridian community. We really appreciate it. Karen, back to you.
Thank you, Jayanne, and we sincerely appreciate your passion for our members and your hard work for the organization. We would now like to move to the part of our meeting where you as members can ask us questions. Only verified members are able to ask questions. In order to provide an opportunity for as many members as possible to address the meeting, we will be limiting each member to one question. If time permits, we will address additional questions from the same member. To ask a question on your screen, please enter it under the Questions tab on the left side of your screen and click Submit. We are allotting 15 minutes for questions, and we would now invite you to submit your questions. I will now turn this meeting over to Sunny for any questions that are submitted. Over to you, Sunny.
Great, thank you very much, Madam Chair. The first question we have, and I'll pass this on to Jan, is from our member Melanie. And the question is, when will Meridian implement Visa debit?
Thank you, Melanie, for that question. I think we get it every year, and so it demonstrates how interested our members are in being able to use their phone, to be able to use new payments tools. So we were really excited to finally launch our debit card in our mobile app. And if you use it, it's a seamless member experience, and we're really proud of it. We continue to look at Visa debit, so it's something that we're looking at this year. And we are also looking at what's going on in the broader payment space. There's a ton of change happening. Payments Canada this year with real-time rails launching in the fall potentially. Open banking starting to look to be going live in the next 12 months. And so we're looking at all of that and making sure that whatever we do in the payment space is truly something that we can get behind for the long term. So thank you for your question.
Thank you. The second question we have is from our member Michelangelo. The question is effectively, what was the compensation provided upon departure for the departing CEO? And perhaps I'll take this one. So executive compensation matters, including any departure arrangements, are governed by confidentiality and are not discussed in public forums like the AGM. However, what I can say is that executive compensation and any related arrangements are reviewed and overseen by the board in accordance with policy, regulatory expectations, and market practice, and are disclosed where required through our formal governance and reporting processes. Our annual report does include an outline of the governance framework that oversees our compensation arrangements, so you can find that there, and we appreciate that question. The next question is from our member Diana, and it is, how do you see Meridian's future with AI introduction? I'll pass that on to Jan.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Diana. As I said in my speech, we have been active in working with through the Microsoft Copilot suite of products. We've been active in engaging our workforce to really take advantage of those tools and helping them be more efficient in their jobs. And to look for ways to improve processes that touch the member in terms of turnaround times and things like accuracy and things that can really improve that member experience. I would say that we are in the same pack as most other financial institutions in terms of moving from learning about it in 25 to putting it into action in 26. My sense is that we will always want humans in the loop when it comes to AI and the use of AI. And the way we view it right now is it's a great tool to support gathering information, doing work faster, helping improve processes. But we need people to oversee that. So in financial services, I think it will make things better. It'll make searching things way better. You can now ask questions versus typing in what you're looking for. It'll make the member experience better, but it'll still require our people to do what they do best, which is listen and help our members.
Great, thanks, Jan. The next question we have is from our member Peter, and the question is, are you concerned about low voter turnout at credit union elections, or is this typical for credit unions in Ontario? Perhaps I'll take this one from a governance perspective. So voter turnout at credit unions is generally consistent across the sector and tends to be modest, particularly for large credit unions. But what we really focus on most is to ensure that members have a fair, accessible opportunity to participate. This year's virtual format and the advanced voting period we had in place and the independent voting process that we undertook were all designed to support participation and strong governance. And we're comfortable that the results reflect the voices of engaged members. So thank you for that question. The next question we have is from Joe, and it is the following, and I'll pass this to Brian. The annual report highlights strong fundamentals alongside continued investment. How do you balance financial discipline with Meridian's commitment to reinvest in members, people, and communities?
Thank you for the question. Our strong financial performance actually enables us to continue to deliver our purpose. In 2025, we remained focused on disciplined financial management, which gave us the flexibility to reinvest where it matters the most. That included continuing the growth of our business banking portfolio, strengthening our balance sheet, and improving capital levels that support our long-term resilience. At the same time, profitability allows us to reinvest back into our members through improved services, into our people through engagement and development, and into our communities through meaningful social impact investment. It's not a trade-off, it's a cycle. Strong financial performance fuels reinvestment, and reinvestment strengthens Meridian for the future.
Thanks, Brian. The next question is from our member Peter, and I'll pass this over to you, Jan. The question is, what is Meridian doing to support affordable home ownership?
Thank you, Peter, for that question. We're doing a lot of things. So last year we introduced an ability for us to help our developers get financing through CMHC so that they can do what they need to do. Structures that we're working on so that we can help address people wanting to buy a home. We have made sure that we're available to help finance rental housing. We're doing quite a bit of work with seniors housing. So it continues to be a key priority of ours. We look at how we monitor it through our balance scorecard. We're always looking at ways to work with partners that's their core focus, because it is a big issue, right? It's a big issue for Ontarians. And even though, one could say prices are coming down, it's still, the bar to get in is still very high. We also are seeing a lot of our members helping family members to pay for their mortgage or get financing. And so that's a trend that we're monitoring and supporting along the way as well.
Great, thanks, Jan. The next question is from our member Montez, and Brian, it relates to risk and oversight of risk, including capital measures. So I'll pass it to you. And the question is, in terms of assessing organizational risk, what published risk metrics should members look at, and how would Meridian rank vis-a-vis other credit unions?
So we have some pretty extensive disclosures in our financial statements and MD&A around our risk management activities and what we identified as financial and other risks that the business faces. From my observation, I think one of the key measures of confidence around an institution such as ours is the capital levels that we have, which are designed to absorb unexpected credit or other risk challenges that we may face. And our credit metrics, again, which we report through the financial statements and MD&A, show a pretty comparable level of capital invested in the business compared to our industry peers, and also I think proportionately reasonable compared to the chartered banks, which have a much different risk profile and a larger risk profile than we have.
Great. Thanks, Brian. The next question is from Diana. I think I can do this one. So why is it difficult to withdraw money after hours from ATMs or otherwise? So on this one, I would say after hours access can be a bit more limited because we've introduced additional security measures to protect both members and employees. These include control branch access and reduce cash held on site, particularly outside business hours. That being said, though, members still have full access to their funds through ATMs, digital banking, and electronic payments, and we continue to look for ways to balance access with safety. I appreciate that question. The next question is, they're just coming in on this. Look, so Jan, I think this is a strategic question, so I'll pass it to you. It's from our member Shaquille. Looking out 5 years, what is the one strategic capability Meridian must be best in class at for its purpose-driven model to remain competitive? And where are we most at risk of underinvesting today?
Yeah, that's a fabulous question. Thank you. So I think probably sooner than 5 years, but certainly by the time we get to 5 years, personalization has to be one of the core competencies that we have. So how do we make sure that we are able to help our members and have the flexibility to help our members in ways that potentially they're going to look for help into the future. So we're spending quite a bit of time and money and energy inside our organization to make sure our data is solid and strong and clean. So that is the foundation of being able to use any sort of AI tools that are out there to help us with identifying how to help our members achieve their best lives and help them manage their money. So I think there's something around personalization. I think there's also work we need to do around making sure that whatever experience you're looking for, whether it's in person or hybrid or fully digital, that all of the products and services that we have today are available in all of those channels in a seamless way, so that you don't have to come in if you don't want to. The processes are all the same. It moves along at the right clip. So we've got some work to do there, or it's something we're working on all of the time. Things like automated lendings to certain levels, trying to improve that straight through processing wherever we can. So I think that's the second one. And then, like I said, around mobile debit, the world of payments is changing so rapidly. And so just having the flexibility in our technology stack to be able to adjust to what that looks like 5 years from now, I'm not going to want to guess, but I think it's probably going to be some sort of embedding in other, an embedded finance model. So we have to be ready for that. So we're investing in our technology platforms today to make sure they've got the resiliency and the flexibility to be able to meet whatever payments methods are coming our way.
Thank you very much, Jeanne. And the next question, which I think will be our final, Brian, I'll pass this to you as it connects back to some of the economic commentary you shared earlier. It is, how vulnerable is Meridian to the current uncertain economic global economy? and what percentage of assets are at risk?
So we are primarily a domestic institution with an Ontario focus. We do have some assets that we invest in, loans outside the province of Ontario, but we have little, if any, exposure outside of Canada in the first instance. Obviously, the global economic environment has an impact on us as an organization and a lender, and particularly with the tariff dialogue going on with the United States, that's had clear impact on the areas in which we operate. The manufacturing sector in Canada, which is heavily centered in Canada, particularly industries like steel, are severely impacted by the current tariff regime. And that's obviously an evolving question. For ourselves, the resiliency factor is having a strong capital base, which we have, and continuing to sustain profitability through difficult times. And that was one of the things I was trying to emphasize earlier, that over the last 8 years, excluding the COVID cycle, we've been pretty consistent in generating a consistent level of earnings, and that positions us well in a troubled economic environment, and really does provide us some cushion against unexpected outcomes.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you to everyone who submitted a question from our membership. We really appreciate it. And Karen, that concludes the open question forum.
Thanks, Sunny. And again, yes, thank you for all of those great questions. If any members have any additional questions, please send them to agm@meridiancu.ca. These questions and any questions that have been submitted but we weren't able to get to during the allotted time will be answered via email. Before we conclude, please allow me just a few last words. We have a number of our employees attending virtually tonight, and I would like to sincerely thank them for their ongoing support and dedication. I would also really like to thank those who helped to organize our meeting this evening. Most importantly, I would like to thank all of you, our members, who are joining us online and by teleconference tonight. This concludes Meridian's 2026 Annual General Meeting, and on behalf of Meridian, stay healthy and safe. Good night.